Good morning, everyone. I am pleased to call to order the February 18th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Note the presence of all three commissioners, and we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am going to open up today with several comments, starting with the coronavirus. So we do have some good news. Our COVID-19 cases continue on a downward trend. Our 14-day positivity rate is now 6.72%, compared with 7.54% last week. Our hospitalizations are also trending down. Sadly, we continue to lose lives to this pandemic. Yesterday alone, we were notified of 13 deaths. So please, even though the numbers of new cases are trending down, this is no time to let up. We are still not below the 5% positivity that indicates suppression of the virus in our community, and our 7-day incidence rate of confirmed cases is around 140 per 100,000 residents. We would like that number to be at 50 per 100,000 residents or below. So please continue to wear a mask, watch your distance, and wash your hands. Our COVID-19 hotline is now live. That number is 833-875-3967. The Montgomery County COVID-19 hotline is operational 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Live operators will be able to answer your COVID-19 questions. In addition, the hotline has language line support for over 100 different languages. We encourage people to call this number, and again, it's 833-875-3967, or email covid19@montcopa.org with general questions about COVID-19 and the vaccine. Please note the hotline cannot provide updates on where you are in the vaccine pre-registration line or troubleshoot issues with your vaccine appointment. It is only for general information. However, very soon, residents will be able to use the hotline to pre-register by phone with the county for vaccine. Our team has started a soft launch of this function this week to make sure it's all working smoothly, and we plan to open up phone pre-registration next week to anyone who needs help with accessing the system. For those of you who have already pre-registered on our site, we will be sending you weekly emails to keep you updated on our vaccination progress and what you can expect when it's your turn. We now have over 165,000 people pre-registered. At this time, depending upon how much vaccine we receive and when you registered, it may take up to 12 weeks before you hear back from us about scheduling an appointment. We now have information on our website to give those of you who have pre-registered some idea of where you are in the line. On our vaccine page, there is a link next to a blue flag that says Status of Vaccine Registrants. This link will take you to a chart that lists how many individuals pre-registered each day beginning January the 12th. If you know the date that you registered, you can see how many people are ahead of you. Currently, we are registering people for vaccine appointments who registered on or before January the 13th. The website also now displays a running total of how many doses of vaccine we have received and how many doses we have given that is updated weekly. To get to the vaccine page, go to montcopa.org/COVID-19 and click on the vaccine information button at the top of the page. As we've discussed previously, sharing vaccine appointment links has been a big challenge for our clinic operations. This week, our team began the process of issuing each person a single-use token to book their vaccine appointment. This will allow us to eliminate the link sharing issues and prevent individuals from jumping the line. We will also require that individuals show us their token number and name when they arrive at the vaccination site. So please make sure you save that email or write down your token number and bring it with you to your vaccine appointment. Yesterday, the Pennsylvania Department of Health announced a statewide shortage of Moderna vaccine. We have been told that we may not receive a sufficient amount of second dose Moderna vaccine to cover the nearly 5,300 people scheduled for their second dose next week. I want to assure everyone who is expecting to receive a second dose next week that we are working very closely with the Pennsylvania Department of Health to resolve this issue. If we are not able to offer you a second dose next week, we will contact you and schedule you for a future date. We will ensure that this future date is within the CDC maximum approved interval of 42 days. As this week demonstrates, the logistical challenges of operating our mass vaccination clinic is changing weekly, and I must again ask you for your patience and for your flexibility. We remain hopeful that vaccine supply will increase over the next few weeks, and we will be ready to ramp up our operations to vaccinate more people as soon as more vaccine is available. Next, I want to take a moment to recognize and thank all of the essential county staff that continue to work 24/7 through the holidays and winter storms, and as we continue to battle the COVID-19 pandemic. In particular, today, I want to commend the Youth Center employees for their successful completion of a recent Department of Human Services licensing and inspection audit. The audit went extremely well with outstanding results. The facility was found to be 100% compliant with all regulatory requirements. I want to personally thank each Youth Center employee for their support, dedication, and hard work, meeting or exceeding their job responsibilities throughout this very difficult year that made for a great inspection. We thank you for the work you do every day to provide for the physical and emotional well-being of all Youth Center residents in a safe and secure environment. And finally, last year, you may remember that the commissioners commissioned an independent review of the Montgomery County Office of the Public Defender. Temple University's Scheller Center for Social Justice recently released its preliminary report entitled Strengthening the Office of the Public Defender. This is now posted for review on their website at law.temple.edu/CSJ. That's Center for Social Justice, represented by the initials CSJ. The preliminary report provides specific guidance and recommendations for implementing best practices for the governance and operation of the county's Office of the Public Defender. Temple is hosting a public town hall via Zoom next week on Wednesday, February the 24th from 6 to 7 p.m. to gather public feedback on the report. They also have set up a feedback form to accept written comments. The preliminary report and the town hall registration can be found on their website. And again, that's law.temple.edu/CSJ. We strongly encourage anyone who's interested in this issue to register for their town hall, to hear an overview of the report, and to share their thoughts with the Temple team. This will then be included as part of the final report that the commissioners will receive. We look forward to hearing the public feedback on this report and taking actions on the recommendations that fall within the commission's purview once the report is finalized. And with that, I will turn over to Commissioner Lawrence.
All right, thank you, Val. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm announcing that the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County has approved the final round of the Monco Strong 2021 restaurant grants. A total of 600 restaurants and food service businesses received a collective $6 million. and grant award recipients started receiving notification. Applications for the grants went live on December 30th and closed on January 8th. Grants of $10,000 were awarded to each qualifying business. The grant funds are an appropriation of $6 million in county economic development funds approved by the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners to support restaurants and other food service businesses that have suffered financially due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Last year, Montgomery County awarded nearly $20 million to help small businesses and nonprofits struggling due to the impacts of COVID-19. Our restaurant industry in Montgomery County is a cornerstone of our economic and workforce development, as well as central to the growth of entrepreneurship, job opportunities, and helping our communities. Small businesses, especially restaurants, help define our communities, and when they suffer, our communities suffer. The limitations on indoor dining and the loss of outdoor dining in winter months have been brutal for many of our restaurants. Eligible grant applicants must have been a for-profit restaurant, food truck, deli, bakery, brewery, distillery, vineyard, caterer, or other food services for-profit entity with a physical location in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. They must have been in operation since at least January 1st, 2020, and experienced disruption due to the COVID-19 global pandemic, while also meeting several criteria listed on the application site. Here's some demographic data on the 600 awardees. 56 municipalities were represented among the awardees. 33% identified as minority owned, 33% identified as women owned, 4% identified as veteran owned, 31% received a Montco Strong grant in 2020, and 66% indicated they had received a Paycheck Protection Program, PPP loan from the SBA in 2020. Eligible grant expenses include rent or mortgage payments for a business location, payments for utilities for a business location, purchase of PPE, and payroll for non-owner employees between the dates of January 1st and March 5th, 2021. A list of all the grantees approved can be found at www.montcopa.org/commerce. And I want to share two messages that we received from businesses who have received the grants. The first, we are so appreciative to receive this grant for our business. We never thought we would see more than a year in our industry and business. I cannot tell you how much this grant means to us. That's from Ryan Rosen, co-owner of Leslie Rosen Catering. And second, when I received the email, I was working on some brewery paperwork at my desk at home. I jumped out of my seat. The grant funding will be very helpful in carrying us through these difficult winter months. We are grateful for being selected as one of the Montco Strong 2021 grant recipients. And that was from Kelly Weiss, who's the owner of the Perkiomen Valley Brewery. This program was jointly administered by the Montgomery County Commerce Department and the Redevelopment Authority of Montgomery County. So I'd like to thank Dave Zellers, our Director of Commerce, and also the Director of the RDA and their board for their assistance in this program. And finally, I just want to remind everyone of some of the Black History Month events that have been taking place. They've been taking place all month, covering issues like education, criminal justice, parenting and family, and faith and community. Panelists have included some of our leaders in the community, education, criminal justice leadership, and they've been attended by an average of 115 community members for each panel. So I want to thank the community again, thank the committee again for planning these events. These have all been virtual this year. We haven't been able to gather in person, but I think it's important that these conversations are continuing to happen. And the last panel discussion will take place on February 24th at noon, and we'll address faith in the Black community with some of our local pastors as panelists. The event is open to everyone who wants to learn more or who has questions. So for more information, you can visit www.montcopa.org/Black History Month. And if you've missed the earlier panels, you can catch them on the Health and Human Services Facebook page at www.facebook.com/HHS Montco PA. And that concludes my remarks.
All right. Thanks, Commissioner Lawrence. Commissioner Gale, do you have any opening comments?
Yes, I do have opening comments. Thank you. Each year, we, the commissioners, host an annual employee pin ceremony where we recognize years of service to county employees. Due to COVID-19, this event did not take place due to COVID social gathering restrictions. But I learned recently that pins, along with a letter, were mailed out to about 250 employees, recognizing them for their years of service. And I was contacted by multiple county employees that were very upset and insulted that my name did not appear on this letter. Typically, it's on behalf of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. This year it was on the behalf of the two majority commissioners, and I was excluded without my knowing. So this is very upsetting, and this should not have taken place in Montgomery County. It's very insulting to the employees. And the entire purpose is to recognize their service to Montgomery County. Instead, many of which were insulted. And this happens to be a pattern. Earlier in the month, the two majority commissioners issued a proclamation for Black History Month. I've been a Montgomery County Commissioner for 5 years. For the 5 years, my name was included on the proclamation for Black History Month. And after the board meeting, I learned that my name was not included. And the entire purpose of Black History Month is to celebrate the achievements and contributions of Black Americans and what they've made to society. Instead, your vindictiveness towards me created division and insulted others. The two of you are obsessed with being vindictive towards me. In reality, your spiteful political stunts and abuse of power have hurt others. Your petty snubs and shameful actions insult the county employees, the Black community, and tens of thousands of constituents who elected me twice as county commissioner. If the two of you are deliberating and deciding to remove my name from proclamations and letters of appreciation without my knowing, I can't even imagine the level of sunshine law violations that take place between the two majority commissioners when it comes to handling county business and awarding county contracts. This is shameful behavior, and your vindictiveness towards me is hurting others. That's terrible. And that concludes my comments.
All right, we will move on to.
Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner Lawrence.
I'm going to respond to that. Would you like me to do that now, or would you like me to do that in closing comments?
You can do it now.
Okay. Commissioner Gale, you said that we're obsessed with you. I'm just not that into you, okay? I don't think of you much at all. So say it ain't so. I will not stand with you. I will not sign documents with you unless they are legally required to fulfill my oath of office. I will sign legal documents. I will sign election certifications if you choose to fulfill your oath of office and do that. I will not stand at ribbon cuttings with you. And if you think that your participation trophy entitles you to sign ceremonial resolutions, I suggest that you get your crack legal team together, the same team that said that you could run for lieutenant governor before you were constitutionally old enough to do so, the same legal team that told you that you could block constituents, and I'd advise you to sue the county. How dare you talk about the Black community after the fear, division, and anger that you caused with your racist statements in June? You're really a piece of work. You're really a piece of work, but there's no vindictiveness here, okay? I take pride in my name. I take pride in who my name stands next to. I wish my name didn't have to appear with yours on county signs. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you.
And I will be providing follow-up remarks to that. I know the two of you are also supporters of cancel culture. Well, you cannot cancel me as commissioner. I'm elected, I've been reelected, and I serve as county commissioner. People put me in this position. So you don't have to get along with me personally. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with what I stand for, but you cannot cancel me as commissioner. So deal with it.
I'm just going to move on for now. All right, Ms. Cofrancesco, we will move on to the public comment on matters appearing on the agenda. Do we have anyone who would like to give public comment on the agenda?
Just a reminder to our attendees today, if you'd like to give public comment, please use the raise your hand feature. I'll just give one moment to see if anybody raises their hand. Okay, we do not have anyone for matters appearing on the agenda.
Okay, then we will move on and ask whether or not anyone would like to give public comment. I'm sorry, general public comment.
Okay, we do have one person with their hand raised. It is Michael E. Goldblatt.
Okay, before Mr. Goldblatt speaks, I'd like Mr. Stein to remind us of the rules of public comment, please.
Certainly, and good morning. Speakers interested in giving comment should acknowledge that to Ms. Co-Francisco, as she has indicated. Speakers should identify themselves by name and municipality. All public comments must be relevant or germane to county business. Under the law, this means that the subject matter of all comments must be limited to items or issues which are currently before the commissioners for consideration or which may come before the commissioners for consideration at a future meeting. Whether a matter is germane to county business is a determination to be made by the county solicitor. Profane, slanderous, or discriminatory language will not be tolerated in accordance with the county's non-discrimination policy. Time limit of 2 minutes will be monitored, and county staff will respectfully request speakers to conclude their comments if their speaker goes beyond the time allotted. The board is not required to respond to public comments during the course of the meeting, so the public is reminded that this is not an opportunity for dialogue or questions and answers. The board chair may direct appropriate county staff to follow up on any questions or additional comments after the meeting. Disruptive behavior, including but not limited to arguing whether matter is germane to county business, attempting to interrupt any other portion of the meeting, or refusing to yield the floor once time has elapsed and being requested to stop speaking will be grounds for muting or removal from the meeting without further admonishment or warning. As always, the commissioners welcome written correspondence, comments, and feedbacks at commissioners@montcopa.org.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. Okay, Ms. Co-Francisco, we can begin.
Okay, great. Michael E. Goldblatt is up first.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Michael Goldblatt. I reside in Abington. The topic, again, is early warning detection of COVID-19 hotspots by measuring the RNA, the SARS-CoV-2 RNA in wastewater. So after my last call into this meeting 2 weeks ago, I got a call from the County Director of Water Quality Management. Thank you, Dr. Arkoosh, for getting that to happen. He told me that the state had a grant to study COVID in wastewater, and he'd put me in touch with the state epidemiologist. But he only gave me a first name and a pool email address. I didn't hear back until yesterday when I got an email from an environmental health specialist stating that his division was in the process of applying for funding for wastewater surveillance, and they'd be happy to discuss once the funds were procured. So that really makes me think, if we want to do anything within the county, we should either find someone within the state who will talk to us about their effort and collaborate with them, or move ahead and do it ourselves. It would take setting up a plan, working with each of the wastewater treatment plant personnel, the cost of reagents and the test kit, to test influent to the 12 largest sewage treatment plants 2 times a week for 8 weeks. That would give us a good base data set and potential to anticipate some COVID-19 hotspots. My township officials in Abington have shown interest, but they say it has to come from the county. So really, I think if there's any possibility at all of this method being able to provide public health officials with information that could be used to potentially save 1 or more lives, it's worth it. There's no financial stake in this for me. I'll take time off of work to either lead or collaborate with others on the project. What I ask is, please help me navigate a path forward to have a substantive initial discussion with appropriate officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to give general public comment?
We do not have any other hands raised at this time.
Okay. All right. Then we will move on to approval of the minutes. I will move to approve the February 4th, 2021 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Next, we'll move on to resolutions. Mr. France, authorization of a planning assistance contract for Jenkintown Borough.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have before you today a resolution to authorize the community planning assistance contract for the Borough of Jenkintown. This is the last of our flurry of communities calibrated to the calendar year of January 1st. It's a 3-year contract that begins January 1st of this year and runs through December 31st of 2023. As always, these contracts are on a 50-50 cost sharing basis between the municipality and the county, with the county's planning commission providing in-kind services for our half and the other half being paid by the municipality. In Jenkintown, we will be working on updating their subdivision and land development ordinance, as well as a transit-oriented development design plan and zoning assistance on the 611 corridor, and traditional planning commission meeting attendance, as well as grant writing support. The total cost for the municipality meeting their 50% requirement is $34,996.50. And that sums up what I have on that.
All right, thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to approve the contract for municipal planning assistance. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you, Mr. France. Mr. Edmond, authorization to execute a reimbursement agreement with Plymouth Township for the Ridge Pike project.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Before you today is consideration of a reimbursement agreement with Plymouth Township for incorporated sewer work under the Ridge Pike project. As part of the Ridge Pike project, Section B, which goes from Belvoir Road to Chemical Road in Plymouth Township, portions of the underground sanitary sewer that Plymouth Township owns will need to be replaced and relocated. Not only do they need to be moved to avoid other utility conflicts, but they're also nearing the end of their useful life. So the township has requested that the county incorporate the sewer relocation work into our construction contract so that our eventual contractor can do the work along with the rest of the project, and they will reimburse us 100%. For the township, it means they get the lowest cost, most competitive bid. For us, it means more control over the work so that doesn't hamper our efforts. So therefore, Montgomery County and Plymouth Township have drafted a reimbursement agreement for both parties to sign, and it guarantees again that the county will be reimbursed the full cost to do the sewer work on the township's behalf. Just a couple of quick notes about this agreement. It's the same document that PennDOT uses. The engineer's estimate is in the agreement. It's $527,263, but it includes any unforeseen costs. The county has done such agreements often in the past, particularly on the Lafayette Street project. Plymouth Township Council approved this agreement last week and signed it. It's in our office. And then lastly, the only thing that's needed left is for the county commissioners to approve and sign. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Edmond. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to enter into a reimbursement agreement with Plymouth Township for improved sewer infrastructure as part of the Ridge Pike Improvement Project, provided that Plymouth Township reimburses the county for the county's associated costs. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Lawrence. Mr. Edmond, I don't have any questions, but just want to say thank you, and thank you to Plymouth Township for looking forward and identifying this as a need that could be met together and in probably a much more efficient way than if these projects were undertaken separately. So I certainly support these kinds of efforts. Any other board comments? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Zellers, authorization for the redevelopment authority to administer the Monco Strong 2021 Pennsylvania Hospitality Industry Recovery Grant Program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Before you is a resolution that authorizes first the county to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development for a block grant that will allow us to administer the Pennsylvania Hospitality Industry Recovery Grant Program here in Montgomery County. Second part of the resolution specifically authorizes that we will utilize the services of the Redevelopment Authority as the certified economic development organization for Montgomery County as the administrative entity. On February 5th, Governor Wolf signed Senate Bill 109 into law, now known as Act 1 of 2021. This created a block grant program for counties to apply to receive funds to administer small business grants to eligible applicants, those being defined as businesses with the primary NAICS code activity of 721 accommodations or 722 food service and drinking places. And these grants, per the legislation, are to be awarded in increments of $5,000 to $50,000. And we must begin taking applications for this program no later than March 15th of this year and have all grants awarded by June 15th of this year. I'm happy to provide any additional information on the legislation or our guidelines, but I'll let you make the motion first.
Thank you, Mr. Zellers. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to execute and file the necessary documentation with the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development in connection with an application for grant funding in the amount of $9,411,247 for the purpose of funding the county's Monco Strong 2021 Pennsylvania Hospitality Industry Recovery Program. Be it further resolved that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, are hereby authorized to enter into a memorandum of understanding and other related agreements with the Montgomery County Redevelopment Authority for the Redevelopment Authority to administer the Monco Strong 2021 Pennsylvania Hospitality Industry Recovery Program. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Well, Mr. Zellers, I just want to say that it is to the benefit of these businesses in our county that our Commerce Department has had shown such leadership in the awarding of grants to our small business community since the pandemic began. I know this has been an incredible amount of work for your department, which is a relatively small department, and you have now awarded I think I've actually lost count. I think we're into the mid-20s at this point, close to $26 million in grants. Is that correct?
We are at, I can give you the numbers. Actually, I ran them this morning in anticipation of this question. We have done $22 million in grants to small businesses, plus an additional $4 million in grants to nonprofit organizations since. So you said yesterday we were in week 50 of the pandemic. I think we started doing our grant program around the 5th week of the pandemic, if I'm not mistaken. We have received just over 7,200 applications for our small business grant programs and have now awarded 2,040 small business grants since last April for that $22 million. And then we have the additional 165 grants that we did for nonprofits. And it is a relatively small department, as you said, and really it's a core team of about 4 individuals and myself. And with support from others and certainly the Redevelopment Authority Board for taking the time. They've had so many special meetings over these past 11 months for these grants. And now we're going to do this additional, this will be a $9 million program here. So we'll be up over 31 million for small businesses at that point. And we'll see what is yet to come.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy to highlight this work. I don't think that until you've been through a process like this, that you realize the level of paperwork and other boxes that have to be checked to get these grants fully processed. So thank you to you and your team. And most importantly, I'm just so proud that we have been able to help as many businesses as we have in our community. It has been just an unrelenting challenge for small business owners who are the lifeblood of our business community here in Montgomery County. And I'm particularly happy to see these funds coming from the state. Most of the money that you discussed earlier has been from our county allocation of CARES Act funding. But this is now additional money coming into our county from the state, which is fantastic news, and money that will go to 2 industries that are, I think, the hardest hit, the hospitality industry and the restaurant industry. So looking forward to being able to help additional members of our community. So thank you for that. Any other board comments? Okay, then hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? All right, hearing none, motion carries. Tell your team to get to work, Mr. Zellers. Thank you.
Thanks, commissioners. Take care.
Bye-bye. All right, next, approval of changes to the Montgomery County Public Health Code. Ms. Panning.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have before you proposed language for amending chapters 3 and 12 of the Montgomery County Public Health Code. This clarifies that in fact, COVID-19 belongs in the Public Health Code by name as a reportable disease and as having precautions such as quarantine and isolation that would cover specifically COVID-19. It also clarifies the fact that it could be used to exclude children and staff that have contact with children for specified diseases. It falls under that category. And we clarify mass gathering sizes and sporting events and signage categories.
All right, thank you. I will move that the proper county officials, in accordance with the authority conferred by law, subject to the approval of the county solicitor, hereby approve the revisions to the Montgomery County Public Health Code as outlined in Exhibit A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Ms. Panning, just for purposes of clarification, these changes to the code are really being put in place to simply codify many of the new activities that the Board of Health has taken on under this pandemic. Activities that aren't really any different than activities that have been carried out for other communicable diseases. But because this is a new disease, it needs to be particularly highlighted in the code. Is that correct?
Exactly. This does not represent any changes to the code itself, except for clarification that COVID-19 belongs as a named disease in the code.
Okay. Any other board questions or comments?
I have comments.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Since the spring of 2020, I have been very outspoken against totalitarian nanny state government rules and regulations associated with the COVID-19 response. COVID-19 is a virus with a very high survival rate. And fortunately, we now have a vaccine that helps stop the spread. I do not support travel restrictions related to COVID-19. I do not support the closure of businesses due to COVID-19. I do not support the closure of schools due to COVID-19. And I don't support restrictions or limits on the number of people that can gather indoor or outdoor for gatherings. And I do not support mandatory face coverings because of COVID-19. And I don't support mandatory social distancing measures. So because of my clear stance on this, for quite a while now, I will not be supporting this. And for example, states like Florida that have had less cases of COVID per capita compared to the national average, it's clearly due to the fact that they do not impose extreme restrictions and regulations in combating the coronavirus, and it's worked in Florida. And I'd like to see Pennsylvania, Montgomery County respond that way as well. So please call for a roll call vote.
All right. Any other board comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Ms. Washington?
Chair Arkoosh,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lawrence,
Aye.
Commissioner Gale,
Opposed.
Motion carries. Next, thank you, Ms. Panning. Next, Mr. Stein, emergency declaration authorization, COVID-19 extension.
Yes. Before you is a resolution which will extend the emergency declaration issued almost a year ago at this point by the commissioners. Under the law, we are permitted to extend it by 60 days each time, and we've had to do so obviously each time that has come up for renewal. This once again allows us to act more swiftly in responding to issues which arise as a result of the pandemic. It is something that we have utilized on a number of occasions so that we can cut through the red tape and get assistance to people as they need it. This also allows us to submit for reimbursement from the state should any of that funding become available. And to your previous questions you've asked, the United States government has extended this. The former HHS secretary had extended the United States declaration through Inauguration Day, and the Biden administration immediately extended it again. And on the Commonwealth level, the governor's current proclamation expires next week, and it is anticipated that he will be renewing it once again.
Thank you, Mr. Stein. I will move that we, the Commissioners of Montgomery County, pursuant to the provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in Montgomery County. Further, we direct the Montgomery County Office of Public Health and the Montgomery County Department of Public Safety to coordinate the activities of the emergency response, to take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the effects of this disaster, to aid in the restoration of essential public services, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this disaster emergency. This declaration shall take effect February 6, 2021 and last for a period of 60 days. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment?
I request a roll call vote.
Okay. All right. Any other comment? Okay. Hearing none, Ms. Washington?
Chair Arkoosh,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lawrence,
Aye.
Commissioner Gale,
Opposed.
Motion carries. All right, Ms. O'Malley, advertisement of a bid and an RFP.
There's a bid on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for a roof replacement. The successful bidder will provide a replacement roof for the old mill house at Central Perkiomen Valley Park. Contract will be awarded to the lowest responsible bidder. An RFP on behalf of Assets and Infrastructure for project specification and standards development services. The successful responder will coordinate programmatic and operational needs with county staff to develop standard specifications for construction projects, including procurement requirements, operational procedures, design standards, and common facility requirements. These specifications will be issued in industry standard formats when procuring construction, design, engineering, and construction management services. Contract will be awarded to the highest rated provider. All bids and RFPs are available on the county's purchasing website at www.montcopa.org/purchasing.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding request for the advertisement of a bid and an RFP as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. All right, awards of contract, Ms. O'Malley.
Contract award, Assets and Infrastructure, Fuel Wex Inc. of Portland, Maine, $200,000. Contract provides for estimated credit card fuel purchases for county-owned vehicles for the 2021 term. Fuel is available through a PA CoStarz contract. Contract award, Information and Technology Solutions, Equipment, Rico USA Incorporated of Philadelphia, PA, $24,789.99. Contract provides for a large capacity envelope printer for the county print shop. Equipment is available through a U.S. Communities Cooperative contract. Contract award, Public Safety Software, CDW Government of Chicago, Illinois, $50,250. Contract provides for software maintenance of mobility licenses for public safety agencies in Montgomery County. Software is required for seamless connectivity of all agencies within Montgomery County and allows for connectivity to computer-aided dispatch and record management system. Contract is valid for the period of 3/21/2021 to 3/20/2022. Contract award, Purchasing Supplies, Amazon Capital Services Incorporated of Seattle, Washington, $75,000. Contract provides for estimated miscellaneous purchases as needed by county departments through the Amazon Business Portal for the 2021 term. Items purchased are typically unavailable from our regular vendors or available from Amazon at a significantly reduced cost. Contract is available through an Omnia cooperative contract. Contract award, Sheriff Training, Montgomery County Community College of Bluebell, PA, $35,970. Contract provides for mandated Act 120 training for sheriff's deputies for the 2021 term. Act 120, also known as the Municipal Police Officers Training Academy, is a program that gives trainees the skills they need in order to become successful police officers. Contract renewal, Adult Probation Monitoring Services, American Monitoring Services Corporation of Edgartown, Massachusetts, $215,000. Contract provides for continuous signal electronic offender monitoring services as per RFP 1838. This is the first of 2 optional annual renewals. Contract renewal, Human Resources Consultant, Tryon Group of King of Prussia, PA, $218,000. Contract provides for employee benefits consulting and administration services as per RFP 1913. This is the first of 3 optional annual renewals for the 2021 term. Contract renewal, Information and Technology Solutions, Microsoft Certified SharePoint Partner, RSM US LLP of Morristown, New Jersey, no cost time extension. Contract provides for services to augment development staff on an as-needed basis for SharePoint projects and increase collaborative and document management functionality for various county departments. Renewal is the 5th optional annual renewal. Contract renewal, Information and Technology Solutions, Microsoft Certified CRM Partner, RSM US LLP of Morristown, New Jersey, no cost time extension. Contract provides services to augment development staff on an as-needed basis for CRM projects and increase collaborative and document management functionality for various county departments. Renewal is the 5th optional annual renewal. Contract amendment, Assets and Infrastructure Engineering, Pannoni Associates, Inc. of King of Prussia, PA, $5,500. Contract provides for a detailed study to determine if dredging of the Deep Creek Lake at Green Lane Park would be required to preserve the longevity and environmental integrity of the lake. Amendment provides for bid documentation preparation for the Deep Creek Lake Restoration Project. Contract amendment, Information and Technology Solutions, Security Assessment, RSM US LLP of Morristown, New Jersey, $86,281.81. Contract provides for security assessment of the county's internal and external network as per RFP 1611. Amendment provides for additional security consultant services necessary to the COVID-19 pandemic and the need for a remote workforce. Services are related to additional information security requirements, forensic analysis, and network security reviews. 5 contract renewals and 22 amendments for Health and Human Services. Providers and services are listed at the end of the agenda.
Oh, thank you, Ms. O'Malley. Hold on 1 second here. All right. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? All right, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Awards of contract for emergency procurement.
Contracts provide for the various goods and services required for response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Response Services, Health and Human Services, Temporary Workers, People Share LLC of Collegeville, PA. Contract provides for temporary staffing services for the vaccination clinics at a rate of $26 per hour. Response Services, Health and Human Services, Nursing Services, Epic Health Services, PA LLC of Atlanta, Georgia. Contract provides for skilled nursing services for COVID-19 vaccination clinics at a rate of $5,800 per week. Response Services Amendment, Information and Technology Solutions, RSM US LLP of Philadelphia, PA, $61,547.50. Contract provides for the implementation of a disease and outbreak management system. Amendment provides for an additional 351.7 hours of contact tracing service under the disease and outbreak management system implementation.
Great, thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Awards of contract for the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force.
Contract award vehicle, New Holland Auto Group of New Holland, PA, $47,609. Contract provides for one Ford F-350 4x4 truck for Montgomery County. Vehicle is available through a PA CoStarz contract. Contract amendment, vehicle upfit, 10-8 emergency vehicle service of New Holland, PA, $2,753. Contract provides for specialty emergency vehicle upfitting for 2 vehicles for the city of Philadelphia. Amendment provides for center console construction for 2 vehicles. Services are available through a PA CoStarz contract.
Thank you. I will move to approve the preceding awards of contract on behalf of the Southeast Pennsylvania Regional Task Force as described by the Deputy Chief Operating Officer, Ms. Barbara O'Malley, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same, subject to the approval of the county solicitor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. Are there any closing commissioners' comments? All right, if not, then I will announce that our next meeting will be March 4th, 2021. And I will move to adjourn the February 18th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned, and we will convene salary board. And I know I saw Controller Sanchez, there we go, and Ms. Pardue, terrific. All right, we will start with public comment. Is there any public comment on salary board? And I believe we have Mr. Case here with us today. And you can go right ahead, Mr.
Good morning,
Case.
Commissioners. Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to say a few words on behalf of Mike Yoder, who will be retiring after 31 years with the court. It's been my privilege to work with Mike these past 30 years. On behalf of the court and personally, I want to thank Mike for his many years of dedicated service to this court and to the juvenile justice system as a whole. Mike is truly one of those classic public service servants who is in it for the right reason. And in this case, it's for the kids. I have no doubt that Mike will continue with that passion as he moves forward, and we wish him the very best in his future endeavors. So thank you, Mike. You will be sorely missed. And if I may, Commissioners, I would also like to extend a similar thank you to another name I saw on the list for this morning, Chief Sam Gallen. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with the chief. We wish him as well the very best in the future. And so my best to both Mike and Sam. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Case. We appreciate you joining us today. All right, any other public comment on salary board?
We do not have any other hands raised at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right, then Ms. Pardue.
Thank you. Good morning, members of Salary Board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the Salary Board list. It is a 5-page document dated Wednesday, February 17th, 2021, with a timestamp of 11:52 a.m. Of note, we have 2 retirees, Mike Yoder from juvenile probation after 31 years, and Sam Gallen from the District Attorney's Office after 19 years. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for and are presented for salary board consideration.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the February 18th, 2021 salary board presentation as given by Director of Human Resources, Ms. Donna Pardue, and to authorize the proper county officials to execute the same?
So moved.
Moved by Controller Sanchez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lawrence. Any board comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, motion carries. And before we adjourn today, I also just want to thank all the members of our assets and infrastructure team who are out there right now clearing our roads and clearing our sidewalks. This has been an unusually busy winter for them. And I just hope everybody stays safe. And I just want to thank them for making sure that our vital roadways and the areas around our Montgomery County public buildings are safe for our constituents. And with that, I will move to adjourn the February 18th, 2021 meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Controller Sanchez. Any board comment? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. Are there any negative votes? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.